Tell them about the videos.
Well, I was telling Matthew that I see some videos from a guy preaching the gospel on the beach, some Malibu or some parts of California, and he was.
It's actually Florida.
It's in Florida. Oh, it's in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just saw the videos on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it is you, Adam. So I want to tell you that we're on the same boat here in Mexico. We're doing spreading the gospel on the streets, and I want to meet you guy. Okay. I hope you can get this message. I just met Matthew today in Guadalajara, and I want to be part of your team. Okay. God bless you. God bless you.
Glory to God.
This will go on the channel.
This is going to work?
It's probably go on Team Jesus Preacher.
Okay. I was telling Matthew, I'm going to tell you about my testimony. And I was telling him that I used to live in Dallas. Now I'm in Guadalajara. I've been here since in Mexico. It was September 11, 2016. I used to be very wealthy financially in Dallas. I had my own car lot. I had a limousine business. I have a body shop, mechanic shop. I remember which other business that I had. But I was pretty wealthy financially, like I told you. But in 2013, I lost everything. I went straight to a mental house. I spent months in a mental house. I got released 2014. It was February 2014. I got released. I was telling Matthew also that all my family there, they're still thinking that I'm crazy because I don't want nothing to do with the business. There's people trying me to support me financially to go back to the business, but I tell them, you know what, I don't want to do that. I feel that I'm gonna do something against God, because what I'm telling God, He used to give me everything that I asked God, like my businesses, my big house, everything. I was traveling a lot. But what I'm telling God right now is, give me just the connections, because like you gave me the whatever I was asking you. Now I want you to bring people to the Lord, and that's what's happening here. I've been here in Guadalajara for I will say more than a year and a half probably. When I came to Guadalajara, I only knew my 3 brothers. But God told me one time that I was driving my car, and I stopped in a red light, and God told me, Luis, you have to open an academy for people that just to evangelize on the street, just spread the word on the street. So I was laughing, and I told God, well, I just came to Mexico. I don't have connections. I don't have money. I was financially, I didn't have money. But He said, I'm going to give you the connections. I was telling Matthew, now we are 2018, but we opened the first academy like an hour from here in Guadalajara. He gave me all the connections. He gave me the connections with like 15 pastors. They're taking care of the academy since January to now. We're on April. I just received a call from one of the pastors. They're going to open 3 academies, one in Guadalajara. The first one is in a place called Jocotepec. It's like an hour from here. So now they're going to open one here in Guadalajara, another one in Michoacan, and another one, there's a place called Mazamitla, and there's going to be 3. Also, when I came to Guadalajara, I had the opportunity with one of the pastors in Dallas, Texas. He started supporting my ministry because they knew that God called me to preach the gospel on the streets. And this pastor, Pastor Agustin Reyes, he gave me support to pay for radio shows in Guadalajara. When I came to Guadalajara, there was nothing on the radio like a Christian radio. So I went straight to a radio station, and I told them that I want radio shows every day, Monday through Friday. So this guy from Dallas, he gave me the support. So on my mind, what I did, I started calling pastors to be on my radio show. I didn't know the pastors, but I find some pastors in Guadalajara on Facebook. So I was inviting the pastors to be on my show. And most of them, they say yes, and they show on my show. And we were, doing the radio show. And whenever we finish on the radio, they were asking me, Luis, how much you pay for your radio shows? And I was telling them, okay, I pay 500 pesos for an hour. And they were saying, can we stay on the radio? Never been on the radio, but we like the way we did the program. And we start doing that with the pastor, Luis Martinez, one of the pastors here. He took one day, and another day I invite another pastor, Frank Ching. He's very known here in Guadalajara. He never been on the radio neither, so he went to my show, and now he has his own show. And there is a Pastor Maricela, there is Pastor Saul Ulloa, Pastor Edgar. There is lots of pastors that now that I'm not on the radio in Guadalajara, they're here and they got their radio shows. So right now the academy is open. The radio shows, they're having the radio shows, and I was telling Matthew that I moved 2 weeks ago. There is a minister, there is a pastor in Los Angeles. They saw on Facebook everything that I was doing here in Guadalajara, because sometimes I travel to some places, and I met a lot of people by Facebook here in Guadalajara, and they love what I was doing, and they went with me to some places like Mazatlan, and we were so many people that we had to rent a big bus for 40 people, and we went to spread the word, straight to evangelize to there. We went to Los Mochis, and I had more people. They want me to go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexicali, Chiapas, and so many places in few months that I was here in Guadalajara. So this is the Lord that I'm serving. And I was telling Matthew, like, this pastor from Los Angeles, he calls me. He lives in McAllen, Texas, but he has his church in Los Angeles, California. And he called me and he said, Luis, I've been seeing, I was watching the videos and everything you posted on Facebook, and I want to talk to you. So he traveled from McAllen, Texas to Guadalajara. That happened like 3 weeks ago. And then he invited me to spend some time with him. And he told me, you know what, Luis, I want you to work for me. And he said, I was watching your videos, and like I've been thinking of you for like 3 months. He even told me you can talk to my wife, and she's gonna tell you that, because I was thinking about you and telling the people, see what Luis he is doing. So he came all the way from Texas, and he invited me to work for him. He sent me to a place that is like 6 hours from here. It's Ciudad Valles, San Luis Potosí. I went by there 2 weeks ago, and I was telling Matthew that I opened a church, I rent a building, and also I was doing the radio shows in Ciudad Valles Monday to Friday. And the first service that I had last Saturday, it was the first service, and the service was full. The church was full of people. I did a service the next day that it was Saturday, and it was full. So now I receive. I'm supporting a minister that comes to Guadalajara from Phoenix, Arizona. Matthew knows Reverend Beverly. She calls me because they see everything that I was doing also on Facebook, that I was evangelized on the street and all that kind of stuff. And they call me from Phoenix, Arizona, and they had a service yesterday. They had a meeting, a breakfast meeting for the pastors. I get in touch with Pastor here because I was going to take care of that too, and the place was full. Wow. It was full of people trying to support her, to evangelize. Yesterday also we had a service at 5 o'clock, and the church was full too. So I was telling even on my Facebook, there's something. I see the Lord, the hand of the Lord so hard. I'm in shock, because Saturday the church was full. Sunday the church was full. Yesterday on the breakfast that we had with the pastor, it was full. On service that we had yesterday at 5, it was full. So amazing things are happening.
They're all evangelists.
And they're all evangelists and people that wants to go to the streets and spread the word. And I was walking now that we went to Guadalajara, to downtown. I was walking, we were spreading the word, and I found this guy here. Another crazy guy like me, and I saw saw him and I said, hey man, come here. I need to talk to you because I saw that he had a big sign that says Jesus in Spanish, all that, and I saw his shirt, the one that he's wearing right now, and I knew that I'm pretty happy that I find another crazy guy like me. I mean, crazy in a good way.
Crazy for the Lord.
Crazy for the Lord.
Crazy for the Lord.
Matthew, it's a pleasure
Praise
for
God.
me to meet you.
It was good for me to meet you too, brother. God
Good.
bless. New
God
friends.
bless you. God
New
bless
friends.
you.
Praise God.
Amen. Amen.